Hey there, welcome to Tod Talks, the podcast where we're shining a light on brilliant local businesses making life better for families with little ones. I'm Bill from Toddle, and in each episode we'll have a natter with one of our amazing partners, finding out what makes them tick, how they're helping parents, and how being part of the Toddle family is helping them thrive. So grab a cuppa, put your feet up if the kids will let you, and let's dive in. Hi Michelle, thanks for joining us. Feels like only 5 minutes ago that you were here. So we're spinning a different plate this time.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us who you are and what business you're representing now?
Yeah, so I'm Michelle Vint and I am Sleep Nanny. So I am part of the Sleep Nanny brand. So you'll find me on Instagram as Sleep Nanny Michelle Vint. And I'm a sleep consultant helping families who have got children, babies, children, all the way up to teenagers who are struggling with sleep.
Oh, well, I could be your number one customer. We've got, Florence and Aurora. The 5-year-old is still finding her way out into our bed. So, yeah. As much as I want her out of my bed, I just want her to get some sleep.
Yeah. And that's the thing, a lot of people think when you go to a sleep consultant, they're going to say, right, not in your bed, you need to do this, you need to that. Do you know, it's not about that. So I work with families and we kind of look at what their situation is now. And there's nothing wrong with co-sleeping. If you're happy and everyone's getting sleep and she's fine in your bed, then carry on. You know, the only time it becomes a problem is when it becomes a problem for whoever's in the bed and they're not sleeping. Yeah. And then that's when I can help. And then it's all about consistency. So if you don't want them in your bed, then it's got to be, you're not coming in my bed, especially while you're practicing it. Yeah. I'm not saying she can never come in your bed again. I mean, you can still have them Saturday morning cuddles in the morning, you know, once she gets used to the fact that she's in her own room. Yeah. But we work with lots of different families in different ways, so depends on the situation really.
So let's go right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So I know that you do your UW and you got your TOTS play. When did becoming a sleep nanny and how did you get into it? When did it come as part of your businesses?
Yeah, so I've been running TOTS play for 10 years, which is like baby classes, baby massage, yoga, sign language. I still do that as well. However, by doing that, I met a lot of mums and dads who were very sleep deprived. Their babies weren't sleeping. And I just kind of saw, I really wanted to help them, but I didn't have the expertise as such. I was a mum myself. I'd been through it with my children. All three are completely different. You know, my first one slept, obviously. So I had another one. He didn't sleep. The third one basically did what she wants and she still does that now. But yeah, she still sleep now though, to be fair. But yeah, I kind of felt like I really wanted to help them. And my youngest had just started primary school. So I was like, I've got a bit of time where I want something for myself where I can learn a new skill. And it was something that really interested me. I was always interested in baby development anyway. That's what I run in the classes. We do a baby development course and we talk about brain development and it all ties in anyway. So obviously you hear about sleep regressions, but actually that's when baby's developing and that's going to affect their sleep. So when they are hitting these milestones, sleep is going to be affected. So now I know how to guide people through the regressions that we like to call them, but I like to call them progressions rather than regressions. But,
It sounds nicer.
Yeah, exactly. It's all healthy, it's all natural. Babies progressing and learning new things. It's just that sleep is affected, and that can have an impact on parents. So about 2 years ago, I started the sleep consulting.
So let's take a hypothetical situation, and a parent as a child, a baby that isn't sleeping, or a toddler that is coming in. When do they get in touch with you? When do they stop going, it'll work itself out, it'll be okay soon? When should they really have a look at this situation?
So there are always things that you can do. So yeah, I have on my Instagram, I'm always putting tips and things like that. But when you're thinking like, it's just a phase, and then the phase is going on and on and on. If after like 2 to 4 weeks, it's not settled, you're kind of thinking, okay, this is not a phase anymore. This is something. And then it can start to get worse because if you're not nipping the habits in the bud, then it can get worse and worse and worse. So it might be better to get in touch with me then so that I can give you the right steps to go on your way before it gets to a point where you need a full-on one-to-one package. So there are things you can do before you get to that sleep consultant, sleep coaching packages. Yeah. Just little things you can put in place. And then if that doesn't work, then obviously there are more options.
So it's
but
not
yeah.
all a one size fits all packages. It's not like
completely.
this is the price. This is what you have to charge.
No.
There are baby steps all the way up to it.
Yeah. There's a different entry point for everybody. There's price points for everyone. So the difference with the price point is obviously the one-to-one bespoke packages that we do. We guarantee results with them, and I work with a family for up to 30 days. We usually see results in 2 weeks, to be fair, but we give 30 days just to kind of take into account teething, illnesses, holidays. 30 days is a good kind of time frame. So we do that, and with my 30-day packages, I guarantee results. So if you've not seen the results that you were expecting, I will continue to work with you until you get them results. So although it's an investment, you're going to get the results that you need. So that's my top packages. And I can do in-home support as well. So that's something else that can be added on. So if you wanted me to come into your house, not to do the work for you, but to show you like what you can do and just to observe and give you advice and be there when baby's waking up, just to give you that kind of support, I suppose, so you've got something there. So that's that. But then there are lower price point packages which take longer. So I've got courses that run over 4 weeks. I've got like a WhatsApp support group that's a 3-day support group, but obviously you're not going to see results straight away, but it'll give you all of the key tips to do. So depending on what you need, but like we say about the bespoke packages, like all children are different. Like I said, my 3 completely different. I bet your 2 are completely different. So you can't say like, oh, this sleep package worked, or this sleep plan worked for my child, go and try it on your child, because it won't work on that child, So
I was just about to say, like, kids have been sleeping and crying and jumping out of bed forever.
Yeah.
Is the methods and the practices, are they changing? Because something that might have worked, like your love, I can hear my mum now going, oh, what you do is give them a bit of whiskey before bed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's that's available now, mum. I don't think that's okay. But like, are there new practices? Are there new sciences coming out? Like,
yeah, I think there's a lot more research being done about things. So all the methods we use are very science based. So they work on, so we've got a sensory sleep method. It works on focus on all the baby's different senses, because obviously babies use all their senses to learn about the world and about learning how, if they're safe and things like that. So we use our method. That's our Sleep Nanny method. We're a franchise, so the founder of Sleep Nanny actually wrote a book about it as well. So,
what's that called?
It's called the Sleep Nanny Method, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think that's what it's called. I should probably know that, but no, it is. It's by Lucy Shrimpton. So yeah, she's our founder. So we all use her method. A lot of the methods are very similar. Like I said, ours is very science backed as well. So you're talking about things that they used to do in the olden days. A lot of them now have been busted as like myths, things like, oh, just put a little bit of porridge in their milk before bed, it'll fill them up and then they won't go. Do you know, like that sort of thing. And again, that's also a myth, I'll have to say. So
we so Aurora was born a best part of two weeks before lockdown, and when she was coming in, like, in and out, well, not in and out of bed, obviously she was a baby, but she was crying, and we looked online, and a few of the articles we were reading said just cry it out. It's just leave her, let her cry. I was like, it's lockdown. I'm not allowed outside.
Yeah.
Like, I've got no need to let her cry.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I imagine this is one of those myths that sort of have died out now.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you did just used to leave a baby to cry, like
turn and tell.
Yeah. I've had my auntie telling me the other day, actually, she was like, basically her mum just left her in the coal shed to cry, like that's what they did back in the day, but now it's been researched that actually that can affect the baby's brain, and the growing up and trauma and stuff like that. So a lot of research has been done into that. So obviously, yeah, babies are going to cry. That's their way of communicating with us. That's the only method
they've got no other way
know.
to talk to us.
Yeah. So crying it out though. So basically, when I'm talking about cry it out, I'm talking about like extinction, where you're basically leaving them to cry until they cry themselves to sleep because they're so exhausted. And they just fall asleep. But they're not learning anything then. They're not learning how to settle. Actually, they are learning something. They're learning that nobody's coming back, so they need to just shut up. Basically, that's what they're learning. It's not healthy for the child. It's not healthy for their brain development, so, and it's definitely not going to help them in the future. So yes, cry it out is definitely a method that we would not ever talk about or whatever. So yeah, it is a myth, I would say. I'm not saying there's no crying. So when it comes to sleep training, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to do sleep training. I don't want to leave my baby to cry, blah, 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 whatever it is. Now, we don't just tell you to leave your baby to cry. It is about finding where you are, like I said, finding out where the family is at now. If they're still in the room, settling their baby to sleep, I'm not going to all of a sudden go, right, I want you to go and put your baby in the cot and leave the room. You know, I'm not going to say that because that's not going to help the baby at all, you know. So baby steps. So we just start off with micro steps. We'll get the parents to leave the room slowly, but only with what they're comfortable with as well. And this is where it comes in with every baby's different, because some babies will respond really well to that. Some babies will take longer. It's all to do with baby's temperament as well. So although they're only babies, they've all got their own personalities, as you've probably kind of come across. So we do a deep dive into what's the baby's temperament, what's the baby's personality like, because that will help us to know how to deal with their sleep as well. So it's not just about one size fits all. So yeah.
But what about the other way of like children not falling asleep? So we're talking about babies like falling asleep. But now let's talk about like children staying up all hours and like can't decompress. They can't stop. Their mind's 100 miles an hour. Like, and like some parents, like we're quite harsh. We are lights out 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But then I speak to other parents and they're like, oh, they drift off at 9:30, 10 o'clock. But I'm like, they're 7, 8 and 8 years old. Like, I know there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
But like, could you help us with the switch off for like a 7-year-old?
Yeah. So it's all about what you do in the daytime as well. It's not just nighttime. We don't just do sleep training at night. It's about the whole day. So what you would want to do in that case, for example, would be start the bedtime routine. So having a routine in the first place is beneficial I'm going to say from birth. It's not really a routine at birth, but from birth, you can start to introduce rhythms that baby thinks, okay, we've done this now. This means we're going to do this. So I wouldn't sleep train a baby who's just been born. You wouldn't sleep train a baby till they were 4 months old, probably. But you can do steps. So I have a newborn course that I run, which teaches new parents how to kind of get babies into them rhythms and to just... So when babies are born, they don't know how to settle themselves to sleep. It's a skill they need to learn. So us as adults, we're waking up throughout the night, but we're just going straight back to sleep when we're linking our sleep cycles together. Babies don't have that capability when they're born. So we need to teach them how to settle to sleep. So by teaching them self-settling skills, that's another part of my training, is to show parents how to self-settle. So you might have, sorry, I've kind of gone off on a tangent.
I'm finding this quite interesting. So like,
you might have like a baby who, like I've heard this so many times, my baby only naps for 30 minutes and then wakes up. So then we're looking at like, well, how did the baby fall asleep in the first place? Because if the baby's been fed to sleep, for example, when their sleep is going from like a deep sleep to a light sleep, and then they're coming out, and then rather than linking their sleep cycles, the baby's then coming round and thinking, hold on a minute, I'm not being fed now. I can't get to sleep because I don't know how to settle myself to sleep because I'm not having... So whatever is put baby to sleep, that's generally what they need when they're awake to get back to sleep again, which is why we teach that self-settling, as in what you could do, for example, is... if you've got a baby who's... I'm not saying don't have them baby cuddles. So yes, have them nice little baby cuddles, let them fall asleep on you. But then when you're putting them down in their sleep space, kind of rouse them a little bit, just so that they then get that sensation of falling back to sleep themselves. So that's teaching them the self-settling. It's not going to happen straight away, but it's just practice with with the newborns anyway. So, so that's that. For the older children, it's all about routine. So even my 6-year-old now, we know that there's like a set routine, bath time, story time, bedtime, so it's about that. And also you've probably heard the one about as in like the myth, I'll just keep them awake as long as I can because it'll tire them out and then they'll fall asleep quicker. And that actually doesn't work either.
We've tried this and they just get wired and wired and wired. And then it's 11:30. Yeah. Like, I cannot keep my eyes open. Yeah. You need to go to bed.
So what's actually happening there is obviously our body's got our circadian rhythm. We release melatonin to get ourselves to sleep in the evening time. When you've kept a baby awake longer than they should, or a child awake longer than they should, your body then kind of starts getting hormones released like adrenaline, cortisol. So the hormones to keep you awake, because your brain is thinking, hold on, I'm not asleep, I need to stay awake then. So all this adrenaline gets pumped through their body, and that's why they get second wind, and you're seeing children running around like crazy after you think they're tired, and then all of a sudden they're wide awake again. And that's why, because they've got these hormones, and that's why it's harder for them to fall asleep, because they then have got these hormones to battle against as well to fall asleep. So that could be the reason why. So it's about finding the sweet spot of when they are tired but not going over, especially with babies. If you try and get an overtired baby to sleep, it just takes forever. And
try and get an overtired husband.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also like I say common sense things, but like things you hear all the time, like no screens an hour before bed, like the blue screen affects the melatonin release. So that sort of thing,
worse at that. Working all the way up to bedtime, bit of telly, second screening, and then right, why am I not falling asleep?
Yeah, definitely. So that can have an impact on it as well. So it's just about the routine, the rhythm, letting them know. Children thrive on routine, so it's like if they know what's happening next, then they can tend to calm down and get there, and then help them fall back asleep.
So you were saying earlier about your Instagram and your socials, like how often are you giving these tidbits and little sneak peeks?
I'm trying to update it daily. Sometimes I don't, but
it's so hard. Like we're working parents. Like it is hard.
It is hard, especially in the summer holidays. But no, I'm on there. But actually, if you do go on my Instagram, you can go to my link, like in the bio, and there's loads of free resources to start with. So if you wanted to, I've got a sleep survival guide. I've got a sleep needs chart that's really important for. Actually, it goes all the way up to 6 years old, the sleep needs chart. And what that does, it tells you how much sleep your child should be getting for their age, and how many naps they should be taking, and what their wake windows are. So a lot of people don't know about wake windows, and that's obviously, I'll say obviously, some people don't, like I say, they don't know, but it's the time that...
I didn't know that.
No, I know, that's like, obviously, it's not obvious, to be honest. But so the time that baby should be awake between naps is the wake window. But that's kind of a guide. So obviously all babies are different. So just keeping an eye on the clock, but also keeping an eye on baby. And if they're starting to show tired cues, then usually though, sometimes the tired cues are coming too late and they're already overtired then. So that's why we like to look at the wake windows, because it gives us an idea. Like if your baby's been awake for 2 hours and they should have had a wake window of 90 minutes, for example, then you know that it's time to get them down for a nap.
So obviously you're an advertiser in the Toddle About magazine.
Yes,
And I want to talk to you about putting more content in, like along with the adverts. So with this, that is definitely something we can talk about. But like if we want to get in touch and we're not ready to, we don't know if we need your services.
Yeah.
Like I'm 2 weeks in, I've listened to the podcast, I'm 2 weeks in of baby being unsettled, I've rung you, and like, can they come to you with an open conversation and say, do I need your help? Are we at a point where we need to get a sleep nanny in?
Yeah. So I offer a free discovery call to everybody anyway. With Toddle About, they can find me in there. So you can download the sleep survival guide through the Toddle About magazine. There's a QR code in there, but you can also book the free call in there as well. And it's like a free evaluation call. So basically from that, I can do a little bit of a deep dive, ask questions about what's going on, and then I can tell you what's the best option for you. So it might not be that you need a one-to-one bespoke package, because you might just need to go and do, like, there might just be some small steps that you can do. So the evaluation call, you'll come away with a little report that says these are the problems, these are the solutions, and then go away and do it. Obviously I won't be there to guide you through it step by step, but I will tell you where to start.
Yeah, because you're like everybody's when those that have children, they're going to be a first-time parent at one point.
Yeah.
They don't know if they're overreacting.
Yeah.
Or coming too late.
Yeah.
Or this is perfectly natural.
Yeah.
You're in the mix. This is parenting.
Yeah.
So like, there is no guidebook for those that are listening. There is no parent manual.
No, exactly. And it's completely healthy for babies to wake in the night. That's what their bodies are designed to do. It helps them to regulate. It reduces SIDS as well. So that's why babies waking up in the night, they're supposed to. But obviously if they were so flat out that they just didn't rouse by anything, then that's going to be where there's issues. So obviously they are supposed to be going through these sleep cycles. Baby sleep cycles are a lot shorter. So that's why you might find they do wake up more. But what we do is we help them to learn themselves settling skills so that they can stay asleep for longer stretches. So although they're going in and out of sleep cycles, they are staying asleep as such. So
They've got it.
yeah. But also it's about how the parents react to the baby. So first time parents, for example, baby makes a little noise and they're like, oh, you know, so it's about letting parents know that actually you can leave baby a little bit to kind of see how it goes, see if it escalates, see if it stays, like, you know, they might just settle themselves back to sleep, you know, so.
This was the first time when we had Florence, I ever heard of the term, and she sneezed or she rolled over, like she wriggled, and I was straight there by the cot.
Yeah.
And Emily was like, stop helicoptering parenting. I was like, what? She went, you're hovering over everything she does. Just let her work it out. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Like, I was that dad. I suppose for some circumstances I still am.
Yeah.
They can't sneeze without me knowing about it.
But that's just natural, isn't it? As a parent, you do want to protect your child, don't you? And you want to just make sure that they're all okay. So yeah, I can totally understand that. I was the same. My husband, on the other hand, wasn't, because he'd had 2 older children and he was like, he wasn't a first time dad then. So he's like, it's fine. And everything, shall I phone the doctor about this? No, it's fine. Like, he's okay, you know, but yeah, definitely.
What we want is, should I phone my sleep nanny about that?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Phone your sleep consultant. But yeah, I think that's, I just like to kind of get over the stigma. A lot of people there's a stigma on sleep consultants because they think that I'm going to tell you, like, this is what you need to do, you know, cry it out. And it's not about that. It's about educating the parents and also finding what works for them as well. And that's what we do. We're very, like, it's very gentle, it's very holistic, it's all bespoke, and it's all kind of focused on the child as well. So yeah, it's very much, it's not as scary as it sounds, I suppose. But yeah. And as I said, it doesn't mean that baby's not going to cry. There are, obviously babies cry because that's the way.
Kids cry.
But also it's about learning how to respond to them cry. So as long as you're responding to their cry in an appropriate way, and it's about learning about wants over needs. I mean, the baby might be crying because they really want you to, I don't know, pick them up or whatever, but actually they might not need that. As long as they're safe, they're clean, they're not in any danger, they're fine. You know, it's about teaching parents about that as well, and about how, like, do they really need that extra feed that night? Obviously, babies do need feeding through the night to an extent until they're a certain age. But when you've got babies who, say, for example, 12-month-old baby still waking up to be fed through the night, it's about thinking about, do they really need that feed, or are they just wanting that feed? And actually, you don't really need to give them the feed. But then we give them a way of weaning them off them night feeds as well, in a nice, appropriate way as well. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. But
I know, like, I think this is a new resource to, like, the parents can come on the podcast, see that we've spoke with a sleep nanny, and they can go, oh, actually, I'm going to listen to the episode, find out if exactly what the ins and outs of it, and this could be the next step they do before clicking that link. Yeah,
exactly. And like I say, it's not all about the one-to-one support. Obviously, the one-to-one support, you're going to get the results the quickest. But I've got courses that I run as well. So we run a sensory sleep course. It's over 4 weeks, and that's a really nice course if you want to kind of learn more. You do get quite a lot more of the sciencey stuff with that, so you can learn about why your baby's waking, how to make your own custom sleep plan for your baby, but then also how to tweak it so when things get in the way, like holidays, illnesses, you'll know how to kind of respond to that and what to do to get back on track. So the course is actually a really good low-cost option compared to the one-to-one, but it's a really good resource for you to then learn. And then when you have more children, like I say, when you have more children, but you know, you might be planning to have more children in the future, then you can use all the things you've learned on the course for your second child. Sorry. So yeah.
So it's an investment into your children's sleep routines.
Because the course is, you can have like a number of people on the course, and they've all got different situations, different types of children, but they'll all come away from that course with their own sleep plan, because we'll tailor it to them as we go, and there's that support as well. But it's also the group support. You've got other people who are on there also struggling with sleep, so you've got someone to kind of confide in.
I'm a big fan of a WhatsApp group, or of a community network, or a meeting. Like, I think the collaboration of everybody in the same boat but different needs is super important, and those real-time connections is what I really thrive off. Like, where sometimes you feel like you're on your own, but you're not. There's so many other, like, whether it's in business or personal, you're not alone.
And I think as a parent, when you become a parent, that can be like one of the most loneliest times ever. Like, especially for mums, no offense, but like, when your partner then goes back to work, it's just you and the baby at home, it can be a very lonely time, and you are always comparing yourself to other people, like, why is their baby sleeping through the night? Why is their baby doing this? And by the way, saying the baby sleeps through the night, that's like down to interpretation, isn't it? Someone might say their baby sleeps through the night, but actually they sleep from midnight till 5 and they wake up 2 times. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, oh, my baby sleeps through. So yeah, please don't compare yourselves to anybody else. But about finding that tribe and having that collaboration where you've got other mums or dads and you can say, oh, actually, yeah, my baby does this as well. It makes you feel a lot less lonely and a lot like it's okay. Everyone's going through it at the same time, So.
And if these parents are trying to find that tribe, trying to find that group, check out the Toddle About website.
Yeah.
Because there's thousands of things going on there for new parents, so it's a great resource.
Yeah.
Like, I just wish it was available when I had my kids.
Yeah, I know. And then talking about like finding a tribe, I know we're doing Sleep Nanny, but with Tots Play, that's what I try and build with the community of Tots Play as well. Is like we do courses for newborns where parents can come together, and then I've had parents who. I've been doing it 10 years now, but like I've got parents who are like children are all in school now, but they're still all friends because they met at my baby development course, So
it's like those NCT groups.
Yeah,
you're together for like
for life,
for weeks, but then you're actually friends forever.
Yeah, definitely the most important friends you can have. I think mummy friends or daddy friends, So
what have I missed? What have I missed in this conversation?
I would say don't be scared to ask for help if your baby's not sleeping. Don't compare to other parents and what they're going through because
they'll lie.
Yeah, it could be. And also, like, Instagrams paints a perfect picture of everyone's life, but actually, if you look behind the scenes, that is not real, Yeah. So yeah, don't be scared to reach out for help, even if you think, oh, it's going to be too expensive to do a package. It probably isn't. So just get in touch, have a chat with me, and see what you can do, what we can do to just work together. I always try and find something to suit your budget as well. So even if it's a WhatsApp group, whatever it is, you'll get a free resource from me anyway to get started, and you'll get a report about what's going on right now where it's a starting point. And then from there, we've even got an app as well. So you can also download the app and get into a community. We've got a community on the app where lots of sleep deprived parents are on there. So yeah, I would definitely say take the stigma out of it. Sleep training is not harmful to your baby. It's all, I have trained in secure attachment, so it's all about attachment parenting as well. So it's not about leaving baby and they're not going to feel safe and secure. It's about making them feel safe, because if they feel safe, then they're going to be able to sleep better. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that baby feels safe, and then that's going to help them sleep. So yeah, don't be scared to reach out is what I would say.
You're great, Michelle. Yes, we've known each other for quite a while now, and I just think everything that you do, you're putting your whole personality and you're passionate about everything you do, and just hats off to you.
Thanks. Yeah, I do get told I'm not too, there's no such thing as too passionate, but yeah, I was at a network and I was talking quite quickly and they were like, you can tell you're very passionate about this. I was like, yes, I am very passionate about this. But it's also, like you say, it's about the help that I wish I had when I had my children, because when I was like Googling in the middle of the night, and that does nothing. You can Google till the cows come home, you're going to get different advice, and it's not going to be suitable for your child because it's not bespoke, So yeah, go and Google as much as you want, but there's nothing better.
ChatGPT these days.
Yeah, ChatGPT, but again, there's nothing like a real person, is there, So yeah, even if like we just have a chat and I can just reassure you that that's normal, I'm happy to do that. So just book in a call with me and we can go from there.
So if you want to get in touch with Michelle, pick up your local your copy of Toddle About magazine, or go on the Toddle About website. You'll find her all there. There's links and stuff below.
Even if you want to just get your free sleep survival guide, that's available for up to 5-year-olds. So yeah, it's just a little freebie for you to throw in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Download that.
Yeah.
So thanks very much, Michelle. Let's catch up in a year or so time and see where we are on the journey then.
Perfect.
Thanks very much. So that's it for today's episode of Tod Talks. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found something helpful, heartwarming, or just plain inspiring from today's chat. If you're a parent listening, I'd love to know, what do you want to hear more of? More behind the scenes with local classes, tips from experts, honest stories from fellow parents? Drop me a message at toddtalks@toddleabout.co.uk. This podcast is for you, and your voice really matters. And if you're a local business helping families and thinking, I'd love to be part of this, well, you can. Get in touch and we'll have a chat about how we can shine a light on what you do and connect you with families who need you. So until next time, take care Give your little ones an extra cuddle today, and remember, we're in this together.